The views and opinions expressed on Deeply Upsetting are those of the panelists and not those of the Geeks Under the Influence Network, associated brands, properties, or businesses. Listener discretion is advised. Please keep your hands inside the ride at all times.
Fuck, marry, kill. Problematic Protagonists Edition.
Wow, getting literary with this? Or
TV.
TV.
TV
Okay.
only.
Okay.
Excuse me. It didn't fit with my alliteration, so I just left that part out. But you had to get picky about it.
I understand sacrificing specifics to be better about alliteration.
It sounded cool, but it's about TV because I'm not like that smart. You know, whatever.
No. We're good.
Okay. Don Draper from Mad Men.
Okay.
Walter White, Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And then Dexter from Dexter.
Wow. Okay. So there's some clear lines a little bit here.
Okay.
Whereas like, let's say as far as Mary, I'm not going to go with Breaking Bad.
No.
No, because that's like going to ruin your fucking life.
Spoiler free, but like if you know the plot, then
you don't
guess.
I don't have to get into
Fucking
very
guess.
much specifics. Though Mary, what is it? Don Draper and Dexter as well. See, Dexter, you're safe from murder. No, from him.
Have you seen
him
Dexter?
Him murdering you.
Maybe this isn't spoiler free. You know what? Fuck it. All of these have been out for a very long time.
Years,
Spoilers
so it's fine.
edition.
Yeah, totally spoiler edition. That's fine.
Yeah, Dexter's wife gets murdered by John Lithgow, and it's fucking awesome. That's the best part of the whole show.
There's a lot of fucking, not a lot of Mary on this trip here through. I guess I'm going to have to marry Don Draper.
Yikes.
Even though, he's not a great spouse by any stretch of the imagination, but you're not going to get murdered and you're not going to be caught up in a meth game and possibly facing prison time. So I think out of the three, that's the least problematic, I guess.
I don't know. I feel like if you knew what was going on with Walter, you could at least do like a plausible deniability game. Like you could just act dumb. Skylar didn't know for a long time.
But there was a point where on a long enough timeline, she found out and she still tried to play dumb and it didn't work to a degree, you know?
She survived though. She didn't go to jail or anything.
Yeah, but that was only because Walter looked kindly on her. And I think I would probably be less...
You don't think Walter would look kindly on you?
No, I'd probably be a lot bigger and louder.
You're very lovable.
Until I found out my spouse is running the biggest meth game in the lower West Coast.
Yeah, but you got money now.
There's a point, though.
I know.
Yeah, meth is definitely a line drawn kind of situation. So, I have to marry Don Draper, and I'm not stoked about that.
No, that's a bummer.
That's a big bummer. Even though John Hamm is packing.
Right? That's why he's an ultimate fuck choice.
He's a good fuck choice, but also then I have to marry either the meth Don.
Yeah.
Or the guy that will get me killed because he's a serial killer.
Yeah, it's tricky. See, I made this to be difficult for you, forgetting again that I have to answer it myself.
And this is even more of a challenge, even though I've chosen Don Draper to marry, than I have fucking kill. Dexter doesn't seem like he'd be a good lay. He's so disassociated from everything that like he would be very mechanical in his approach to stuff.
Oh, totally. Yeah, very Tin Man approach to sex.
Tin Man, like that at the 2.5 minute mark is where I do the swirl. And you're like, what is even the fucking swirl? Yeah, you don't need the swirl. Somebody told you in high school the swirl was necessary. It's not.
He read one issue of Cosmo to learn about sex.
So he would not be a good fuck choice. And Walter White probably could lay it down, especially if he was feeling like drug god. You know, he's got that fucking energy when he gets all fucking mean. Like that's ridden hard and put away wet fuck choice.
True. I mean, before he was into meth, he definitely was not a good fuck choice. We saw some sex scenes, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it was very so it really
bad.
Depends on what timeline point he's at in his progress as...
Not to interrupt, but I also have to be honest with you in that I cannot stop thinking about like an incredible digital short of some sort of Dexter learning about sex from a Cosmo article and then enacting that in the bedroom. I can't stop thinking about it.
I'm just thinking, we just recently watched Man on the Moon, and there's a scene where Andy Kaufman goes into a brothel and there's a line of women that he gets to choose from. And I'm just picturing that scene, but it's just Don Draper, Walter White, and Dexter all like sitting next to the bar, just looking at each other awkwardly as I'm like, you would ruin my life, so no for Mary. Who am I going to kill? And they're just like, this is weird. Why did we agree to this?
Don Draper just trying to charm the other men, and it's not working. It's not working.
It's like, if you actually hide the lower cost booze below the bar, then you're going to actually get more, like trying to like get the bar to make more money and shit. Like, and the name is like, here for fucking. Like, you need to have something a little bit more charming as the...
You think that's what the brothel was called?
I mean... In this version.
I love it.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Here for fucking brothel.
Love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is, out of all three, the one that I can at least minorly begrudgingly approve of is Dexter murdering like pedophiles and
he was a good murderer. He was like the Robin Hood of murderers.
I mean, he made some really bad choices along the way too, but for the most part, his heart was in the right place. My dark passenger has to murder, I guess I'll kill bad guys. He
wasn't a good murderer because he had to keep the evidence every time, which is so embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
Like, grow up.
It's like if you're going through your spouse's drawer to find like a spare set of keys or something, and you find a used pair of panties from a previous relationship. You're like, you don't got to keep all the keepsakes.
No, don't keep them all.
Like, you can keep photos, like you can keep
on your phone,
or like a card you got once and some like keepsakes
on your
or something.
Second phone.
On your second.
That's
phone?
where that lives. Yeah. On your second phone, on your burner. That's where you have like grainy pictures on a flip phone of your fucking phone.
You're like trying to figure out how to get your USB-C to run into the like ancient pre-USB Razor phone. I mean, like, how does this even? Doesn't even have Bluetooth. I can't even Bluetooth this over. Go to the store. They're like, dude, nobody has that cord anymore.
What was the phone that was so cool because it was also a walkie-talkie? Was it Nokia?
Nokia, I think, had that bleep.
Oh, my dad had that, and I thought it was so sick. And of course, because my dad's a fucking loser, nobody ever walkie-talkied him. So I never even got to see it in play.
Oh, the worst thing in the world is to have a walkie-talkie and nobody's talking.
That's so sad.
You're just walkie.
You're just walkie. Well, my dad doesn't really walkie either. He's just like sedentary.
So no walkie, no talkie.
Walkie, no talkie is so sad.
That also sounds like rules that would be in the brothel, the go fuck something brothel that we have is on the wall. No walkie, no talkie.
I was thinking about how I wish so badly that all businesses were more literal, like here for fucking. And then I thought about the fact that here in Richmond we do have a restaurant called Boca, which is very literal.
Yeah.
So everyone get on board. And amazing that it's in the old porn bookstore.
Yes, if you are unfamiliar with this, either from Richmond or outside, Boca, great restaurant, love the place, is actually the building for decades was like a porn bookstore with like the quarter machine porn theater thing in the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it had the porn. I don't think there were live people in the back doing the thing. I think it was just like porn videos that people went into booths and watched and jerked off in.
Very cool.
Yeah, great.
Very sexy.
Very retro.
Yeah.
But
different times.
Yep. And so they fumigated and bleached every square inch of that place, and it turned into a pretty decent Mexican food place.
You know what I gotta say? Justice for Pee-wee. Justice for Paul Reubens.
You know, I gotta say that I think it was after he did Blow. Where he did Blow as Paul Reubens, and he was just like, fuck it, I jerked off at a theater, I'll do the cocaine movie. I don't even give a shit anymore. And people were like, you know what, Paul Reubens? Everybody's got to jack off sometimes. It's not really that big. He wasn't jacking off in front of kids. He was on his day off. He was trying to be subtle about it. And
what else did we just watch him? Matilda. We just watched him in Matilda, which was again like a straight role where he plays like the detective.
And, you know, out of the things that celebrities have done, privately jerking off in a porn theater, like, that's not the worst thing. Come on. Like, the fact that was such a blow up, nowadays, it's laughable that was even a fucking issue in the first place. Like, I would fuck and marry Pee-wee if he came up on the list.
I don't think I would fuck Pee-wee. I don't think I would do it.
I don't know if it would be like a good fuck. Like, I don't know how much I would come from that, but it would be
not at all.
It would be an experience for sure.
I don't think I would fuck or marry Pee-wee. I think I would just like respect his existence like I do now.
The word of the day is smegma. Yay!
No,
Yeah.
not smegma.
Yeah, afraid
that's
so.
such a boner killer. I don't like that.
But somehow he makes it work. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like if you're going along that route, I feel like I would rather fuck like Big Bird, saying the number of the day was 69.
Now you're changing the fuck, marry, kill to a totally different animal.
No, we're
here.
sticking to. I mean, we're way long gone as it usually goes.
Usually goes, yeah. That we've got Don Draper is the marry, unfortunately.
Yikes.
The fuck has to be. You know what? Out of this, it's so much of a variable with Walter White on how the fucking's going to be. It's either going to be really apologetic, weird, awkward, like really strange
sad.
Fucking, or really rough and tumble where I feel kind of used afterwards fucking.
Definitely. Oh, definitely.
And there's not a place for that a little, but like not when
consensually.
you're... Yeah, and not when you're unprepared for it, you know?
I don't think Walter White knows about like BDSM stuff.
No, Walter White does not.
No,
he's used to. He would just start stabbing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're like, ooh, try this bean powder, and you're like, no,
not the bean powder.
Bean powder, afraid so.
Yikes.
So I'm gonna have to murder Walter White and just get mechanical cold sex from Dexter.
Yeah, I feel like that's the right choice.
Yeah,
I agree.
So is that your route as well? No.
Mm-hmm. No.
You're getting dicked down by Don Draper.
I am. Yeah, I have to.
I have to. I do.
Plus also the hate sex of it all. Really exciting. Because he sucks. And he would definitely think that I sucked because I'm a woman. But then I would also like be funny and smart and stuff. And then he'd be like, God damn it. I didn't want to like you, but I do. And I'd be like, I can't stand you, but you have a massive hog. So let's do this thing.
See, the thing, I do get that. I can't fault you for that choice there.
Hate sex is, in the Bible, I'm sure. It's been around since the Dark Ages.
Then you've got to marry the person that's going to get you murdered. Or
I would marry Dexter,
the meth
I think.
guy. You'd think you'd take the chance on the Trinity Killer showing up?
I'm not marrying Walter White. That dude sucks.
He sucks.
And I hate that hat. Not sorry, Heisenberg. I'm not walking around with you wearing that hat. I'm not doing it.
Okay, so yeah,
Dexter wearing the murder Henleys, kind of hot.
Okay, and he also wears just every day of his life that like 3-button
Henley
undershirt. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But no, he only puts those on for murder time.
Oh, sure.
He wears regular clothes, but murder Henleys he's got a ton of, and they're great. They look amazing. That's when you know it's murder time, when the Henley comes on. You didn't realize this when you were watching the show?
I didn't realize.
There's
also,
a pattern.
The thing that always bothered me about that is I understand he's trying to get less blood on his body.
The plastic
and stuff. But also, he is walking around up to the point of him getting into the kill room wearing a long sleeve shirt in Florida.
Yeah.
No one... That's the most obvious thing that
they should have just arrested him.
He's walking around in a long sleeve shirt in fucking Florida.
Yeah.
No one in Florida owns a jacket or B, a long sleeve shirt.
No.
It's just, I think you get thrown out if you own those.
He actually had them shipped from like Alaska.
Right? Quietly.
They don't sell them.
On the package, it said not long sleeve shirts.
Yeah. It said dildos.
Yes. He's like, oh, thank God.
Thank God my dildos are here. Not my murder Henleys from Alaska.
Okay, so you're
I would marry him.
You're gonna marry Dexter, okay, and Trinity Killer or not.
I'm gonna get killed at some point, but at least Dexter's like nice to look at, gonna be out of my way for sure for hours. I have so much spare time.
That's true. Like he is gonna be like, I have to go out, and you're gonna be like, thank goodness, yeah, go.
See ya.
Absolutely.
Because this conversation is painful. It's like pulling teeth with that dude.
Works at the police department, can get your like parking tickets and stuff taken care of if need be.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Not afraid of blood. That's great.
Oh.
What?
Would you have to have a thin blue line sticker on your car if you were married to Dexter?
No, I don't think that Dexter's like that. Not all cops being Dexter.
ACAB except Dexter.
Exactly.
Blood splatter technician is not involved.
My murder husband Dexter is great. I feel like Deb, though, does have a thin blue line sticker.
Oh, she does. Definitely her ex-fiance. When I had the headstrong cop dude that she was married married to.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
He
definitely does.
He has like 4.
Yeah.
And the Punisher skull on his car.
Oh, for sure.
And also the Calvin peeing on something sticker as well.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't think Deb likes that one, but she's not opposed to it.
he likes to put on Maroon 5 before fucking. Like,
Hot.
that's his vibe for sure.
Old Maroon 5 or new Maroon 5?
Like new.
No.
Like the newest album.
No.
And like, this is track like 5. People don't even talk about track 5. And like, it's garbage.
It's a B-side of
It's
new
a
Maroon
B-side
5?
of new Maroon 5. That's what he's rocking.
God, I've never been drier in my life. Just like, there's a tumbleweed, I think.
Oh, no.
Going on down there. Jeez. That's painful.
No wonder Dev fell in love with her brother. That was the other option.
Truly.
Was
Why
track
did they
a
do
B-side
that?
Maroon 5 unbuttoned top button
Calvin
guy.
peeing guy.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel like Dexter is a bumper sticker person in the least. I feel like he hates bumper stickers, and that might be his, like, weekend, like, cheat day, is that he doesn't kill a bad guy, he kills a bumper sticker person that has, like, a ton of bumper stickers.
Somebody with a visualized world peas
my
bumper
God,
sticker.
yes, he definitely kills them. He would love to.
Very much.
And he just lets himself get away with it because he's like, you know what? I deserve this one.
Also, he reads that and it just doesn't translate to anything that makes any semblance of sense in his brain. So he just can't deal with it. And he's like, I can't have this exist in the world.
He can't visualize world peas.
World peas.
Unfortunately.
No.
So I would marry him. I mean, I'm going to get killed at some point, probably for my opinions. But if it's because of my serial killer husband, then that's also fine. I knew what I was, let's say in this world, I know what I'm getting into when I marry him.
Sure.
You know? So it is what it is. And I also kind of love the idea of him going out and like killing pedophiles and stuff. So it's like, bye, baby. Please don't bring them back to our house. We have like a more remote house.
As far as hobbies, like that's even better than having like a partner that is a podcaster. Like a podcaster, you have to be like,
sure.
He podcasts.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I would much rather say he murders pedophiles.
It's like, oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy down my block that I've seen on the website. So, like, if he wants to come over and then maybe dip out after lunch for 20 minutes or so, not going to say a thing.
Not a word. Mm-mm.
Just be like for hire at word of mouth kind of thing.
He would be like, stop using me to murder the pedophiles in our neighborhood. Stop it.
But it got us into the country club.
I feel like that's where all the pedophiles are.
That's why there's 18 new positions at the country club.
We take all of them.
Yeah, right.
We're just climbing the ranks, man. We have no money, but many pedophile murders.
Can I change my answer?
Nope.
Oh, no.
So you're stuck with things the way that they are. So yeah, I'm having great misogynistic sex with Don Draper's giant penis.
You definitely feel really bad about afterwards, but like during...
I don't know. I feel like I could be an empowered woman of the time where like I also just want sex. You're
just using him.
I'm using him.
And then so he's waiting for the weird clingy thing and you're just like, oh no, I don't give a shit about you. And then that fucks him up.
Oh yes, 100%.
Okay.
That like harkens back to my like Tinder days of yore. When I would let a guy know, like, hey, I'm actually not looking for anything serious. Like, this is very casual. No worries there. Like, don't worry about me. I just want to be honest with you about what I want. And then they would leave, like, ghost me because the gameplay was out the door.
And they didn't know how to handle it if
they didn't know how to handle it.
Try to, like, woo you or something.
I think they just wanted the upper hand. And I kind of took it away where I was like, no, there is no upper hand. And they were like, fuck you, bitch. Which is fine.
That's so sad and weird. But that being said, so you're...
Don Draper is that guy.
Don Draper fucking, you're marrying Dexter, so you're murdering Walter White.
Absolutely, I am.
I don't
love to see it.
That's the worst combo that you could have. Honestly, I'm reassessing my version, and I think you might have had the upper hand on your choices.
I definitely did. Yeah. I'm the Don Draper of this situation because I learned it through osmosis through fucking. That's not how osmosis works, but whatever. It's like a sexually transmitted genius of having the upper hand.
Sexually transmitted insight. Yeah.
There we go. STI. Yeah. Perfect. Love it. No matter what, I mean, it's going to be deeply upsetting. Welcome back to Deeply Upsetting.
Yay!
Yay! I'm your host, TB Bogarde.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
This is a podcast where we, your hosts, answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries.
After about 20 minutes of dialogue beforehand.
After we really got in there. But honestly, you were thinking the same things. And I think that you would have been upset if we didn't really delve into all of the nooks and crannies of the fuck, marry, kill that I built for us. So you are welcome. And if you're new here, this is it.
Yeah, this is how it goes.
This is what it's like. If you want to be part of the fun, join the party. You can ask us questions that we will maybe answer. And you can ask them in a bunch of different ways. Social media is the easiest way because we will ask for your questions before we record. You can send them then. You can send them whenever you want. Just do you, baby.
Yep.
And it is Deeply Upsetting on Facebook and Twitter. You can send us an email at geeksundertheinfluence@gmail.com. Just put Deeply Upsetting in the subject line so we know it's for us. Or you can send us a little sexy text or a voicemail on the GUI hotline, which is 804-505-4484. 804-505-4GUI.
4GUI.
Ooh, yeah.
Saturday monster truck voice.
It was really cool.
Version, yeah.
I liked it a lot.
I liked your radio thing that you did.
I didn't even mean to do it. Oh, yeah. That I meant to do.
Yeah,
I thought you just meant my voice and like the weird ups and downs that I like to do. And that, unfortunately, is just who I am.
No,
as
that's
a
just
person.
your personality pouring out of every pore of your body.
For better or for worse. This is it. This is what's going on with me. What's going on with you? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I have this question here that I need to ask you.
Oh, do you?
Moving forward.
That was quick. We got the business out of the way real quick.
And
yeah.
I think that's important because we got a lot of very important questions to cover.
Investigative work.
Investigative reporting on this episode. And the first one up is from Pete from the Get Flushed podcast, who asked us, would Steve Jobs still have invented the iPhone if humans didn't have opposable thumbs?
Great question.
Great question.
Truly.
And so thank you, Pete, for that wonderful question.
Very lovely.
It brings in a lot of things.
Yes.
The importance of opposable thumbs being the number one, I think, part of this question.
Yes. And the number one thing that I have going for me. I do have opposable thumbs.
Out of the laundry list of things, you're just like, opposable thumbs still in the game.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
I have opposable thumbs. Hit my DMs. Super attractive quality. I'm going to say Steve Jobs would have come up with something. He has an entrepreneurial spirit.
Sure.
And also I feel like over time we would have just had like very superior like Velcro technology for our palms since we didn't have opposable thumbs. And so, yeah, I think that with the Velcro technology, we would be able to figure it out. We would all have very dexterous fingers, which would be important in a lot of different ways. And so, yes, I do think that. Or maybe we would have just like jumped way further into the future. So then we have our Velcro hands. We've got our iPhones on the Velcro hands. And then we can just kind of like blink it into existence and just like blink out messages and shit.
Well, what I'm curious about, because this is not only discussing how the progression of humankind goes without opposable thumbs.
Yeah, there's layers involved.
Well, and herein lies the question. Are we talking about, it's if humans didn't have opposable thumbs, so it wasn't Steve Jobs specific.
If he's the only one with opposable thumbs.
Everyone else has thumbs, and Steve Jobs comes out with no thumbs, and he's just like, I was going to invent this thing called the iPhone, but now it requires thumbs. And I'm not going to make something that requires thumbs.
No.
For all you fucks with thumbs. Fuck
or
you.
He's the only one with thumbs. And he's trying to come up with it and nobody else has thumbs.
Nobody's into it at all.
This sucks. This absolutely sucks.
So humans through all of history have figured out how to exist and progress and evolve. But the one thing that just never evolves is thumbs.
Yep.
Through all of time, there's just not this
thumbs.
other finger that goes the other way to grasp things. So throwing like spears and rocks and stuff, they'd have to like double hand it.
Yep.
And it would be very awkward. Like overhanding over your body, just a stick to throw at a mastodon or something.
Yeah.
Be a lot.
I agree.
So I think there would be a lot less physical labor progressions in human history. And it would be more like emotional and ideological progressions because that's more where the focus would be with the minimal use. Foraging would be more of a focus than hunting.
Okay.
Because you could do that stuff without thumbs for the most part.
Yeah.
Hunting, you'd have to catch animals with your bare fingers. There'd be no gripping available.
That's what I'm saying. The finger strength would probably be immense.
Yeah, really, buff digits.
Buff fingers. Fingering game on 1 million.
Oh my God. Girls be like, girl, did you see his index fingers? They are buff. See the veins in those fingers.
He been foraging. And you can tell.
I bet he knows how to forage a potato like nothing.
Like nobody's business. So hot. Imagine.
So, yeah, I think there would be a development of technology, but it would be far less, I think, based on the physical. So as far as communication goes, that would be very key. Phones possibly part of that conversation. But as far as hand usage with phones, I think would be different. There'd be a lot more headsets involved in stuff.
Yes.
Because holding a phone just with the flat of your palm or like gripping it like a weirdo without a thumb.
Oh, God. So we'd all be stuck in the like boomer voice to text hellscape that exists.
That or we like quadriplegics where they're able to actually have their eye movements.
That's what I was saying. We would blink it out.
Yeah, we'd blink it out and stuff. I think that technology would progress a lot quicker. I think there would be some version of the iPhone, I think, eventually, but it would be a very different animal than we know today.
Yes, but Steve Jobs would have invented it, and that's the important part. No matter what, Steve Jobs would have invented it.
That turtleneck says, I'm going to invent something.
Hell yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's a business turtleneck.
It's not a party turtleneck.
That's why What's-Her-Face from Theranos decided to adopt it.
Oh, that's right. I remember that was a whole thing.
Oh, my God. She's a fascinating character.
Yeah.
We need to just do a whole episode about her because I love it. I
love
everything
like
about her.
A great Minor Upset episode.
Oh, true. So, I mean, they are doing the court case right now.
Yeah, so we could totally do that for one of our near future
I'm
things.
Interested in that. I don't remember her name, so apologies to the queen. The queen of scam. Love you, girl.
Queen.
Scam queen.
So
blood scam.
I think it would be closer to like a Google Glass kind of thing where it's the glasses.
What happened to Google Glass?
It was, I think, ahead of its time. People were like, I like the concept. I don't like the idea of wearing my phone on my face.
I really don't like that.
Yeah. So
God, Google Glass would have gone, out the wayside when COVID hit because, wearing glasses with your mask on, absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
You're fogging up my porn, you say at the conference table at work. You're watching like Double Penetration while your boss is talking about last month's numbers.
It's the only thing that can get you through sometimes.
Then all of a sudden you actually hit the wrong button and it goes to speaker instead.
No, the glasses should never have speaker. It's so private.
And it's like, my ass is being fucked by 2 dicks. And your boss is like, again.
Why is the porn that you're watching so literal? They're all just describing what's happening.
I only watch porn where they just describe the actions of the porn.
I like to close my eyes and just hear it.
Here I am walking into my stepdad's room. I hope his penis isn't out. There's a lot of that.
I hope his gross friends aren't trying to fuck me again. Oh no, they are.
I guess I'll run away and just sunbathe naked at the pool.
Oh my God. And you're just responding to it like a horror movie, being like, no, don't do that.
No, you're going to get sperm on you. Don't.
Oh, that's so upsetting. I hate that. Also, can we just please, as a society, decide together to retire step-sibling, step-parent porn? Can we just get rid of it?
I get what the nuance of that subgenre is and the draw for it, but it's not somebody that you're supposed to treat as a sibling. It's the taboo of somebody in close quarters that you're not supposed to be fucking, basically.
There are plenty of other taboos in porn. We can just stick to those.
Yeah,
we don't need the new frontier of taboo. You can
scratch that itch without it being like a step something kind of deal.
I feel like that's all there is now. It's all step something.
It's lousy with it. And it's and some of them it's like either it just says in the title and it doesn't say anything about that in the actual thing. Or there's the ones that are like I was saying, the descriptive ones like, I can't believe my brother is putting his penis in me.
Oh,
just like saying it over and over again.
What a nightmare.
And no. Just no.
Just stop,
don't.
Please. It could just be a person.
Right?
It doesn't have to be a brother person.
It
Not
could be
to kink shame anybody.
Your younger sister's friend that's over, from college that's visiting or something.
Totally. Brother's friend, great.
Cool.
Your brother doesn't find out about it, ideal for me.
Yeah.
I don't need him being present.
the step thing, like, or there's times where like the brother comes in and then he just like jacks off or joins in or something.
I don't need him to be there.
There's like porn videos where like suddenly peeing happens and you're like, this was not in the description.
What an absolute nightmare if you're not preparing and choosing it by your own volition. Again, no kink shaming.
Yeah, no kink shaming if you're into it.
I personally am not. And I don't love to be surprised. I don't want to be blindsided by pee in my normal sex video. They're just doing the normal sex.
This is a normal thing, like, oh, yep, there's penis, there's vagina, there's all whatever genitals that you want involved in this whole situation, and then just peeing happens. No.
What an absolute way for me to fumble with my technology, trying to exit out and then like sending it to someone. Doing something very movie moment.
I don't need like a rating system for porn, like the ESRB ratings for video games, except for what fluids are being used in the video. Like,
have you ever seen those websites that are like for parents about movies, where it'll be like, there is a scene where someone takes one puff on a cigarette. They do look like they're 60, but I did not like it. And then there's another scene where somebody says, damn. They say it.
The
Lord's name is not in vain, but they do say the D word. And it's like just so cut and dry. That's what I need the parent, rating version of a porn where it's like, okay, are they just having sex? Like, let me know. Somebody calls somebody a whore. Cool. Love it. Do wish that would have been a surprise for me while I was watching it, but it's fine. Peeing. Let me know, though. A surprise. I need to know about it. Finding out that it's your stepchild that I didn't realize, I want to know beforehand.
They get a call daring. It's like, just come to find out that person you know happens to be your child. You're like, I'm fucking them right now. It's the fucking worst thing ever. But this is what happens on the other side of the porn rainbow. At the beginning of the internet, there was like what Dr. Skin or whatever the fuck it was, where
it told you
the
32 minutes
into whatever
kissing Jessica Stein.
Yeah, there's gonna be a titty.
There's a nipple.
There's one nipple that you see at this frame, and you go, oh, fast forward, rewind on my VHS tape to try to find it, and then if you're well off, you have the like frame by frame, skip forward, skip back feature on your remote. Not me.
No,
I had to do the pause where I knew it would take a couple frames to stop. That's how I saw Angelina Jolie's nipple for the first time in Hackers.
Wow.
PG-13 movie, but there is one frame where her nipple is there.
So hot.
Thanks, Dr. Skin.
Thanks, Dr. Skin.
So that's the beginning of the internet.
What a humanitarian.
Other side of it, we've been so lousy with the most horrifying and visceral pornography that anyone has ever been able to have access to, that we're like, can we just get like a heads up what's going to happen? I'm tired of surprises here. I don't need clowns to show up.
Not at all.
Or fucking like, I don't need some weird pee party happening or.
Not at all.
Or another thing shows up. The poop doesn't tend to show up without some kind of like
That has not happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it, in all fairness. Can I tell you a story of my childhood for a moment?
I don't like that there's a segue
no,
from this.
No, it wasn't about poop. I was thinking, this is back to the Mr. Skin thing.
Okay.
It's not about poop. This is a poop-free story. Sorry,
so it's just about pornography and you being a child.
It's not really pornography.
Okay.
So I used to go to my grandparents' house on the weekends. And they had like a new neighborhood girl that was my age. This is probably like, I don't know, 8, right? 7, 8. It's like not a sexual time.
Is this like, Penthouse Forum that we're getting into here? Because
it's such a lame story.
Okay.
I don't know why I felt the need to share.
No. I'm excited.
But I need to.
Please continue.
Okay. Another thing, if you are a longtime listener of the show, that you may know is that I had an extremely religious upbringing.
Yeah.
Very religious, extremely repressed, guilt, the whole 9 yards. Woo! Therapy. Thank you. Love you, Bonita. That's my therapist's name.
Shout out, Bonita.
She's like, please do not bring me up on that shit show. I try and disregard it. So, religious little baby me. And then my grandmother is like, there's a new neighbor girl and she's wonderful, so you all should hang out. And I have no friends at this point. Giant religious nerd.
I love in all of your stories, adults, instead of the peanut noise, they all sound like they're 1950s or 60s widows that live in like Grey Garden style
they
things.
have a mysterious secret.
if I had known someone was coming over, I would have dressed better. You know, this that very Joan Crawford kind of vibe to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% that is how they are in my mind. They're old, okay? So anyway, she says that. She says, hey, see, there's a child in this neighborhood. And the two of you could have a real bang-up time. I know it.
Yep.
So this girl comes over. She's my age. And she's like, do you want to watch Big? I'm like, absolutely I do, because I love Big. And as a weird child, Tom Hanks was my celebrity crush. So great.
Sure.
So we're watching Big. It's a great normal time. And then it gets to the scene near the end where Tom Hanks and like Elizabeth Perkins make out, which like as an adult now that I'm thinking about him being 13, it's like extremely creepy.
Yeah.
But at the time, you know, they're just like making out. And I think he pulls on her boob or something, like touches it in a weird 13.
Pulls on it?
It looks uncomfortable.
Like he's taking a ticket at the DMV for like next one up.
He like honks it, you know?
Yanks the nipple.
In my mind, it's uncomfortable. I haven't seen Big in a long time.
Yeah.
But he's like touching it like a 13-year-old where it's like not sexy. It's like weird and awkward. And so we watch that scene, and then she immediately, like, does not ask me, without question, takes the remote and rewinds it, and then watches that scene again, and then takes it back and rewinds it, and it goes on like 10 times. And I, at this point, am so uncomfortable because I know what's happening, and I know that I shouldn't, but also, like, it's kind of horny. So it's very uncomfortable, and nothing else happens. Like, she wasn't like trying to do anything. Like, she wasn't trying to experiment with me. She just really wanted to watch that scene like 10 times in a row in my grandmother's basement. And then the VHS started to freeze. And so then I got so freaked out that my grandmother was going to be like, what's wrong with the VHS? And she comes down and it's like Tom Hanks and Elizabeth Perkins titty scene. And she's uncomfortable. And she's wondering why it's frozen because this little baby pervert kept rewinding it and fucked up my pure VHS.
Oh, no.
I don't know why I shared that story.
That's amazing. I had a similar situation with the scene in Titanic where the dude hits the propeller and flips down.
What?
Yeah, except it wasn't like horny. It wasn't like death. Oh, it makes me hard.
Yeah, that's a conversation that we should have if probably. That's the case.
No, it was more that my sister and her friends were watching Titanic. The double VHS Titanic when it came out. I was kind of watching it over their shoulder, not into it at all.
No.
I've come to appreciate it a little bit more as I got older. Not because it's good. It's very cheesy.
We watched it very recently.
But it's more that I can look at the practical effects that were used and I'm very impressed. Like there was just very cool stuff happening there.
Really good effects.
Yeah. But this one scene that I was like, this is amazing was when the dude fell off the back of the boat and hit the propeller and went, whee! Like spun.
Did happen.
So I grabbed the remote when we were kids and I rewound it and kept playing that over and over again while my sister and her friends were like weeping like
I'm sure.
full on like ugly cry bawling at all these people dying. And I'm like, ha ha ha, like
You're
a fucking maniac monster.
You're also older than them.
Yeah,
that's an important part of the story.
I'm not like, it's not like she was like an 8-year-old and I'm like 26 doing this to them. So they're
close enough, you monster.
She's screaming at me, Mike, stop! And I'm like, ha 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 ha, just replaying this over and over again like a human monster. And I now realize everything that's ever happened wrong in my sister's life probably stems back to that moment, and it's my fault.
Yeah.
So I need to make a phone call after this episode.
Definitely. I feel way better about sharing my horny Tom Hanks pulling on a boob moment after that. Fucking monster.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
So to answer...
I have no idea how we got from here to there.
I don't know. Apparently, iPhones, pornography. There's some line there somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But would Steve Jobs still have invented the iPhone if humans didn't have an opposable thumb?
Yes. Next question.
Yes. Okay. So we got that solved.
That was really good.
That was really good.
I hope that Pete feels like he's gotten some insight.
Again, that was from Pete of the Get Flushed podcast.
He's like, shut up. Please redact.
Can you cut out my name after all that?
He wants there to just be a beep over top of it. Fair enough. Our next victim is going to be from Corey Hall from Positive Hits 90.9 and also 105.5 The Vine. And Corey asks, How would we live if we discovered the butterfly effect is real and we are living in the horrible effects of some future being's action? Well, we just found that out, actually, from the way that you ruined your sister's life.
Yeah.
So shout out to Becky, because I am sorry.
Butterfly affected that shit hard. I want to point out Positive Hits 90.9. I looked at it. Religious radio.
Oh.
So here we go.
Does this person not know what
I don't think so.
Here?
So let's have fun with that.
Corey, don't listen.
Not
Corey already
in a mean
listening.
way. Corey did not make it this far. And
no.
So be nice to Corey. Corey was nice enough to give us
first word of every episode of this podcast is fuck.
Yeah, true. So
yikes.
So religious radio DJ.
Great question,
Corey. Thank you so much for this.
Amen.
How would we live if we discover the butterfly effect is real and we are living in the horrible effects of some future being's action?
I can tell you right now that I've thought about this multiple times, and the reason for that is called chronic anxiety disorder, which I myself have. So, Corey, if you're asking this question, have you heard about Wellbutrin?
Right.
Have you heard about my therapist, Benita?
It might give you nightmares, but not as much as the living hellscape nightmare that is reality. Yes. So.
Oh, God, the nightmares. I really need some, Wellbutrin tribe to let me know about the nightmares because, wow, I'm new to her. Love her so far, but the nightmares, whew, yikes. Anywho.
Yeah, so, some future being. So, the thought is that a future being created something in the past that caused the butterfly effect that caused basically the living hellscape that we're in.
Yeah.
Currently. Okay. So you figure this out. The first response that I would want to think about is how do we stop them now? Because they're a future being, so we can stop them now and prevent them from in the future causing the past to be all fucked up.
Right.
So the challenge with that is that you yourself, by doing that, is creating a different butterfly effect that may adversely affect future.
Right.
Or positively. Not necessarily negatively. But it's a gamble.
I'm not that optimistic about my chances of saving humanity. I'm not terribly motivating per se. I can make people laugh sometimes.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking about motivating. I was straight up murking somebody.
Oh wow.
If they're a baby, you'd be like, sorry, baby.
I was thinking more along the lines of if you do this is what will happen. So we need to change the way that things go and be a positive, give it a kind of a football coach in the second half type speech, you know?
This is almost the plot of Looper that we're talking about here.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Spoilers.
Looper is very solid. It's just Joseph Gordon-Levitt doing his best Bruce Willis impression for 2 hours. It's pretty solid.
It's also the plot of The Butterfly Effect starring Ashton Kutcher.
No, that's if you read your diary, it will make you go back to that moment in your life.
Yep.
Which sounds like a nightmare for anybody that's ever owned a diary. Because it's mostly just really fucking angsty stuff that you're writing.
Oh, the worst.
It's not today was amazing and my life is awesome and I hope this day never ends. Mm-hmm. You can just keep going. It's no, this person didn't like me and I'm sad and I hate my body and my parents don't understand me.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or just evidence of how incredibly nerdy I was as a child. Where it's nobody talked to me today, but then I got to watch Jay Leno with my grandpa. So that was cool.
It's just a very bad sketch of Jay Leno and there's just a drawing of a horse for no reason next to it.
We ate nighttime oatmeal. So that was cool.
Not nighttime oatmeal.
Yeah.
That is tragic. No, if you eat oatmeal past 2:00 in the afternoon, I'm even giving till 2 for people that wake up late, wake up at noon, and you're it's still lunchtime. Cool. If it's post 2 p.m.
I don't like lunchtime oatmeal.
No, but if you do, I'm still giving a pass on lunchtime oatmeal. You're trying to cut. It's good for the heart. It's a cholesterol cleaner. Oatmeal is whatever. You're trying to just make it simple for lunch. Cool. I'll give it to you. 2 p.m. though. If it is 2:15 and you're eating oatmeal, you're a fucking monster and you need to stop. That is not okay.
Shout out to my nighttime oatmeal heads. You are valid.
Cereal at 8 p.m. Fine. I will give that up. That is stoner. That is
lazy,
depression. I'm 100% okay. Nobody is looking at a box of cereal and a bag of oatmeal at like 8:00 p.m. and goes, I'm going to go with the oatmeal.
What if it's the dinosaur egg one?
I don't give a shit. That is pre-2 p.m. dinosaur eggs.
I'm sorry. I would like the stoner contingency to weigh in on that one, that you wouldn't want dinosaur egg oatmeal.
Okay, addendum.
Okay. See how the plot thickens like oatmeal.
No.
Yes.
If it is dinosaur egg oatmeal and also not the only thing you're eating in that session of eating, then it's acceptable.
So it's okay if it's a side. You want a side of oatmeal.
A side of dinosaur egg oatmeal is okay.
Side of oatmeal is also terrible.
A side of oatmeal sounds like the worst, like fucking bluegrass bar cover band that I've ever heard of in my entire life.
I feel like Side of Oatmeal is a geriatric band.
Thank you for coming out to the VFW. Next up is Side of Oatmeal.
And everyone's confused, and then people come on stage and they're like, oh,
it's literally people that have no teeth and they can only eat oatmeal.
Love it.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Oatmeal wouldn't be your main. Mashed potatoes would clearly be your main.
I was picking on my porch and eating my oatmeal. People
the
like, okay,
visual of this
all the songs are about oatmeal.
This is haunting, and no one got to experience it but me.
Yeah, that was for you alone.
Yeah, it lives in my brain forever, rent-free. Yikes.
Oatmeal tastes the best past two. No. That's the opposite of the truth.
Well, when you get old, you can have your, rebuttal band.
You got mashed potatoes and applesauce. Fuck you with your post 2 p.m. oatmeal.
Sometimes you need something more substantial with oats involved. Hey, sometimes me and my grandpa ate popcorn with no salt on it. Watching our cholesterol.
Monsters.
No butter, obviously.
Nothing I love more than my 3:30 p.m. rolled oats. That's really what hits the spot for me.
Shout out to my boy Orville Redenbacher for that salt-free, butter-free popcorn that my grandpa likes.
Nothing like a Werther's candy.
Okay, wait. Don't slander Werther's.
Fair. That's fair. No,
don't.
I do enjoy a Werther's myself, so.
Yeah. As you should, as we all should.
But just imagine like 3:30 p.m. you have just a bowl of like
Werther's. I would love to.
Unsalted, unsugared, untreated, just plain fucking unflavored oatmeal by itself.
No, I don't want that.
Just water, no milk, nothing. Just like fucking plain ass rolled oatmeal. Steel cut.
I don't want
like
that.
The one that you have to boil for like 45 minutes, not even the instant oatmeal. Like you have to put some time in to make this.
I don't want that for myself, but I'm saying that this is grandparent erasure by acting like this doesn't exist.
I'm saying that even a grandparent should know better post 2 p.m. There are plenty of other soft foods that you can be enjoying besides fucking oatmeal.
It sticks to your ribs.
So do mashed taters.
True.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes are the right choice, but not everyone makes the right choice. That's why we're here to advise.
If you're a soft foodie, as they're called in the world, then you do oatmeal for breakfast. You do applesauce for lunch.
That's not a lunch.
Just applesauce.
That's not a whole lunch.
You need to get your fruit intake for the day.
That's a side.
So you've got your bread, and then you've got your fruit lunch, and then you have mashed taters.
Oh my God.
And that has dairy in it and starch.
Thank God for pudding.
Pudding for dessert.
You know what I'm really glad about, actually? This is a tangent, but, deal with it.
This whole fucking show's a tangent.
Obviously. I'm really glad that the Jell-O Corporation did not get taken down by the Bill Cosby allegations, because that would have been tragic.
No, what's tragic is ever hearing it referred to as the Jell-O Corporation. That is so haunting to me.
Who are they owned by? I'm sure they're owned by like Kellogg or something.
Yeah, probably. But also the Jell-O Corporation, like immediately I assumed that they made Bill Cosby do it.
I would love to work for the Jell-O Corporation. I would like to work in the wrestling division.
Imagine you're single and you're on fucking OkCupid and you're like, employment, the Jell-O Corporation.
I don't know. I feel like big corporations like that always seem weird. I dated a guy for a while that worked for Pepsi. And I was like, that seems fake.
I want to go with maybe some other company. I refuse to work for Big Jell-O.
Big Jell-O.
Big Jell-O. It's ruining other soft foods.
Well, since we all know about the hooves, it really ruins it.
I'm going to work for Knox Gelatin, that flavorless fucking powdered substance.
That's like working for Hydrox instead of Oreo.
Oh my God, can I be the president of Hydrox?
No.
Hydrox, if you're listening, we want you to sponsor us. We don't. We're going to say, fuck Oreos, eat Hydrox.
Absolutely, we won't do that. We will not be doing that. Nope. Mm-mm. I can only stand behind some things, and Hydrox, get fucked. It's over for you.
I don't appreciate your Hydrox erasure, so...
Is Hydrox even around anymore? I would love Hydrox erasure.
You know what?
I'd love to Thanos snap Hydrox out of existence.
That's why they need to sponsor us, so people are aware that Hydrox still exists.
Oh, all the people that listen to this show? Come on.
I think Hydrox is only carried in the 2 Kmarts that still exist. I think that's where they live.
In the Venn diagram of Hydrox consumers and deeply upsetting consumers, I would love to see the center.
The soft, creamy center of that.
Because those people need to get eradicated.
Oh, no. Did Hydrox make you believe in, like, cookie-based eugenics?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know who wouldn't appreciate that?
Who?
Corey of Positive Hits 90.9.
Mother Teresa believed in eugenics.
That's true.
We've actually discussed this on this show. That's when I ruined your life about it.
You did ruin my fucking life. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I looked into it because I just assumed at that point that that's not true and you're a liar and I needed to like run away.
That's fair for you to think. Because I do love to lie, but not intentionally.
About nuns, yes.
About nuns specifically.
Yeah. It's weird. It's only about nuns. You're honest about everything. Too honest most of the time. Nuns, though, you're like, do you know nuns have a third leg that they keep just to kick children?
Oh
I had no idea. I had no clue that was true.
Really don't like that, especially when most people refer to third leg as a penis. So, not into that.
Not into that. Okay.
Not into that. Yeah. Sorry, Corey. I don't even know.
I don't know. We are not staying on track with these questions at fucking all.
This episode is the whatever we fucking want episode.
So yeah, with butterfly effect, I think what we would do, for me anyway, what I would choose to do in a butterfly effect from a future villain person, is that I would just try to be nice and kind to everybody and try to live by example. So hopefully the world can turn out to be. That's not true. I would try to murder a baby that I thought would be the future person.
That you thought you're risking it all to murder a baby?
I mean, if it comes down to like living in a apocalyptic hellscape or murdering a baby,
but what if you are in jail forever during the apocalyptic hellscape because you murdered the wrong baby?
There's not just a good chance, a likelihood that I would murder at least 4 to 5 wrong babies before I got to the correct baby.
Wow.
But that being the case, is that I could justify by being like, they didn't want to live in a post-apocalyptic hellscape anyway, so I was like saving them the trouble.
I would say that it was going to destroy us when the pro-life sect cancels this podcast, but we all know that they actually don't care after the baby is born.
That's true. Once they're a baby, they're like, yeah, kill that baby. I don't even care. That baby probably has food stamps.
Right. That baby would probably start a TikTok in the future.
That baby probably owns a gun and wants to rob that convenience store. And like, what? It's a fucking infant child.
Is that your pro-life voice? That's even weirder than my grandparents in the 1940s voice.
I don't know why that's my pro-life voice.
I mean, I love it.
That baby's got a gun.
I hate when that baby's got a gun. The worst.
That baby is sucking off the system. It's like actually a titty right now, currently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I saw it. I had to take it. I knew it wasn't going to be good.
Did you?
I did.
That's the question.
Unfortunately.
That's always the question when it comes to this show. Speaking of which, I guess that's pretty much the end of this show.
Wow, we only got to 2 questions this episode. That's amazing.
And I would say got to is a pretty loose term
all right,
when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I don't think that Pete will be praying for us. Or maybe he will.
I hope that that Pete puts this...
Not Pete. Corey. Excuse
sorry.
Me.
No, Pete was fine. Pete was great.
Get Flushed. Love you.
Yeah, Pete was awesome. I hope he's a good sport. Corey, you should play this during service.
Ooh.
You know, at least so you have like, you demonize us as like the enemy and then...
One of those fundamental, or not fundamental, one of those like cool... new hip churches. Edgy where it's churches. Like, you know what's lit? Jesus Christ. Like that kind of thing.
Affliction churches.
Yeah, like
Affliction
get
t-shirt.
turned on the Lord.
Yes, fam. Sheesh for Jesus.
Right? Yeet the devil.
Yeet the devil. Sheesh for Jesus. Yes.
I mean, I love it.
I'm into it. It's great.
I'm into it. All right. Well, if you want to show people that you like this show, you can buy a shirt.
Big if.
Huge if. Buy a fucking shirt, whatever. It's at the merch section of GUIPodcast.com/store.
Let us know if you want us to make a Yeet the Devil, Sheesh the Lord t-shirt for Deeply Upsetting.
Also, let us know if you want us to stop making this show. Because we'd love to. We feel compelled, but if enough people told us to stop, maybe we would. And
the thing is, we would be like, they're right.
They're correct.
So correct.
If one person said that, and that person was the baby that we should have murdered, we would still probably do it.
It's like, you need to stop making that show. Not because I'm like the evil person from the future or anything, just because,
Not because I don't want you to murder me or anything.
Yeah.
They know.
They know.
The evil baby always knows.
Evil babies always know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so buy the merch. There's Halloween stuff that's almost as scary as this show.
Yeah.
Or you could listen to the other shows if you wanted to. They are good. And they are on GUIPodcast.com.
Woo! The home base for all the shows on the Geeks Under the Influence network.
All the stuff. Do it.
You can catch Amy Bogarde on some of the shows, including Geeks Under the Influence and Smack My Pitch Up as well.
Hell yeah.
And you can check out Smack My Pitch Up, my other show on the network.
Do it.
As well as Geeks Under the Influence, our flagship, where we pair booze with the subject matter. So what would you drink while watching Star Wars or Shang-Chi or whatever?
It's good.
With just lively, fun conversation. Mm-hmm. That's... If you listen to the show, nothing is going to be too problematic.
No, not shocking whatsoever. So do those things. And also rate, review, subscribe, maybe, if you dare.
We love it.
We love it. We love to see it, I guess. Because we love honesty, but mostly positive reinforcement. So if you don't like it, then shut the fuck up. This is a buck wild one.
Garbage fire up. I'm so into it though. I really am.
I am too. I love it, honestly. This is very organic.
Yeah. Us being trash. Yeah. It really is.
Obnoxious.
Cool.
So that will do it for another episode of Deeply Upsetting. I am Amy Bogarde.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
Okay, bye.
GUIPodcast.com.
Thank you for coming out to the VFW. Next up is Side of Oatmeal. I was picking on my porch and eating my oatmeal. Mike the Hobbit here.
Lowdown Brown.
Inviting you to check out Geeks Under the Influence, a podcast that pairs booze with conversation with good friends.
And a little nerd culture.
We get a lot of colorful conversation out of our episodes, but it is here for everyone. No gatekeeping.
Always level up everything we do.
We'll punch up, never punch down.
Exactly.
So check out Geeks Under the Influence everywhere you get your podcasts and join us or die.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit. Welcome to GUI Nights.
GUI Nights.
Yeah, I am Lowdown Brown. With me as always,
Mike the Hobbit.
This is the tangential side of GUI.
This is like so many of those other shows that has the after the show bit mixed with a little bit of Baywatch Nights, so it's a little sexier. It's a little bit after hours.
Also while tying it into the previous episode of GUI. So look forward to that too, because this comes out the week after the flagship hour-long episode.
So make sure to check out GUI Nights, and when you're done, you can
go the fuck home.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.